what would that look like in practice? Then perhaps first we can foster regional forum of democracy or something like that. Maybe launch an annual Asia Democratic Resilience Forum. We have some sort of this kind of forum. I think East Asia Democracy Forum that is hosted by the Taiwan Foundation for Democracy. But it would be nice to have it for Southeast Asian nations as well, right? Inviting civil society leaders, maybe scholars from Taiwan and Southeast Asia, and maybe legislators if they're allowed to come, right? And then in relations to that, we can also foster partnership with civil society, like civil society partnership, as well as youth training. Maybe this can be modeled from the US-based YSEALI, Youth Southeast Asia Leadership Initiative, which is a very competitive, some sort of a democratic training program in which civil society leaders in Southeast Asia can go to the US and learn from the US best practices, right? Taiwan can for certain do that. Another thing, and this is more serious, perhaps work together towards fostering or preventing disinformation and fostering cybersecurity, right? Taiwan is very experienced in combating disinformation. So perhaps if Taiwan can share with Southeast Asia the best practices, and perhaps like what you said, create some sort of a training for digital literacy, you know, how to combat disinformation, then this would greatly help and towards a capacity building in this particular area for Southeast Asian civil society, right? Another thing would probably be maybe cooperation, academic research and think tank cooperation. Maybe university in Southeast Asia and Taiwan can actually talk about democracy even more and introduce it, you know, learn about each other's democracy in the university, as well as think tank relationship, right? Like such as yourself, and maybe have a connection with think tanks in Southeast Asia. I know that you already do that. We can also introduce a democratic standard, so there will be a democratically aligned supply chain, right? Democratic standard, and introduce it in like a different industry that has something that is connected to Taiwan. And also, then this is perhaps this is a very unique Taiwan thing, which is utilize a quiet diplomacy.
Right.
Utilize a quiet diplomacy, meaning that you will engage in a semi-bilateral dialogue with receptive partners like Indonesia and the Philippines and maybe Timor-Leste, right? As well as maybe engage a third-party state or a third-party institution like Japan and Australia, which is in the neighborhood, right? And to maybe even European Union, right? In order to kind of make sure that Taiwan is included in a democratic resilient forum, you know, in the region. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.